Give glory to the one, man. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Give glory to the one. Okay, man. He deserves all of it. Okay. Guys online, how are you guys doing? How is everybody doing? Good to have you, Gavin. Welcome. And Susha, it's really beautiful to have you guys here. Yeah, we're good. Thank you so much. Happy stories. Did you guys enjoy them? Better. Are you all happy? You feel happy? If you are not happy for whatever reason, I promise you happy days are coming. Yeah? Come on, man. When he calls you, he's not going to let you be depressed, oppressed, suppressed, or whatever those things are. He's going to set you free. Because freedom, where the Spirit of God is, there is? Freedom. Period. Okay. Let's move on. I guess excited for the word. Yes. Okay. Does anybody know, except the guys online, what we're going to talk about? Online because I put up the description. Yeah, everybody has checked online now. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, as it's really encouraging, plus in awe. Mercy and I are in awe of what God is doing in Goa. When we said, like, let's move to Goa, and when he said go for it, and we came here, we weren't expecting any of this. I was thinking of sitting on the beaches for the next 7 months, but off the bat, day one, it started, and it's amazing. Yeah. And Binoy walked in. What was worship today, by the way? Amazing. Yeah. Man, what worship. Thank you. It was Binoy, me, and Mercy working like dogs from morning. You're all enjoying it because, thank you. Appreciate it, everybody. Fantastic. Well done. Okay, Elevate is on. For those of you who don't know, and we just had our first session yesterday. It was a phenomenal one. It was really good, and I hope we'll have further more stories as weeks go by. Okay. Seed time. Moving on. Nikita asked a question the other day on the group. You remember? If what she said was, now that we know there is no separation, and whatever we speak, visualize, and manifest must come to pass. Right? Is kind of a question, like a statement. She mentioned it. Will it? Huh? Yeah, the truth is, it will, it should, okay? Is it easy not to feel separate? When we say separate, together we are all one. That's what the word says, that's what the science today says as well. And with God we are one. And that means if he is the source of all things, yeah? In the beginning was the Word, Word was with God, Word was God, and everything that was ever made exists, made through the Word. And then Colossians down the line says, everything that is there, all things are held together, atom by atom, particle by particle, through Christ. Okay? So everything that there is him. So now, if we are one with him, we are not separate with everything. No? Yeah? It's pure logic. So, is it easy not to feel separate? Okay? My wife said no. And all of you are looking at me. You can say yes or no. Yes, no? Yes, sir? No. Yeah, all of you know. Fantastic. That's the answer. Yes, separation is an illusion. That's the truth. But the real question is, do you see it? Or do you feel it? Because you have issues with people. That's where you first feel separation. You have issues with things. That's where you feel separation. You have lack. That's where you feel separation. You're hungry and you don't have food in front of you. Separation. Okay? So, the truth is we are not separate. But do we feel separate? Absolutely. How many times? All the time. The word comes to set you free and set you apart. That means as you align your mind and your heart to the words, you are feeling less and less and separate. And less separation leads to freedom. That's what freedom looks like. Freedom means you're free from everything that is out there to oppress you, suppress you, and all those things. Okay? So, every time you reach out to something in the natural, something in the physical, to appease yourself, to feel that you are okay, to feel that you're good, a hit of dopamine, you separate. No? Come on. You're separate. So to go there to the place where we are not separate, where we're in union with God, you need to have the frequency. The frequency is called Christ. The more we go there, the less and less and less separate we are becoming every day, every moment. And with that less separation we feel, we attract all things. That's the formula. Energy equals to matter. The highest form of energy that there is love. You can't be love if you're not real. So in that state, you are God. You are Christ. You are one with Him. Because nothing like love to make sure real love, agape, not philia, not storge, not eros. Those are all the love definitions in the Bible as well as in the world. But agape meaning unconditional love. You don't have to do anything for me, you're good. You don't have to be anything for me, you're good. And that's your frequency, man. Matter will follow. Natural will follow. Agape equals to union, meaning one with the one. Give Him all the glory, man. I just want, give God the... We are here, if you are here, if you're breathing, if you are doing whatever we are doing, man, it's the energy of, like we just sang, Elohim. Yeah? Okay? So moving on. Did you get it? Yeah. A coffee can make you feel separate. I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy coffee. It can make you feel separate if you depend on it. You can enjoy it. A smoke can make you feel separate. A drink can make you feel separate. A lack or presence of something can make you feel separate. So just understanding that we need to move on thinking, I am is enough. Can we say one time? I am is enough. What does I am look like? It looks like a conqueror. Okay, and that's what we're going to see the word today. And I hope by next week, because we are engaging with this energy, with this word, that there will be stories, that there will be healings, that there will be transformation. Okay, we have another story, such story of what you had, like literally Silja. She's watching right now. She had like this big lump here. She had it for years. Silja, you can type it for people to see if there is anybody. Years, and one evening we decided, let's just pray. We just laid our hand, and right in front of everybody's eyes, it just like went inside. Physically, I've seen a fracture heal just by laying a hand. A fracture that happened yesterday. Man, do not limit what the Spirit is capable of through you. Okay? So, if you want, keep your Bibles open, or Bible apps nowadays open, and follow with your eyes while I read. Okay, Genesis 1:28. I'm reading from the NASB, and it says, God blessed them. Who? Who? God blessed who? Adam and Eve. And then God said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. And He says another line there, which is to subdue it. People think when God made Adam had the dominion already. It's like this. I'm calling Kiran and say, Kiran, you have authority everywhere. Now go and take authority. Okay. So if he already has authority, does he need to take authority? No. That means there was work for Adam, and he needed to go out there and subdue it. In that process, he should have been refined and become like the one. He failed because he saw the tree. It's all a metaphor, The tree is called the knowledge of good and evil. That means constantly it helps you. It not helps you. It makes you judge. That's good. This is bad. Because it's bad, I'm not going to accept it. It's good. I'm not going to. Why would God have an issue with you understanding good or bad? Because what's good for you, man, is not bad for somebody. Is bad for somebody else. What's bad for you is good for you. What bad for someone else is probably good for you. So if you're going to have these standards and go out into the world or go out wherever we are, you're going to fail. Why do you think the church is the way it is? Good and bad. The very tree that they're not supposed to eat from, they eat from. I'm not judging anything. I'm not calling anything bad. But because I am also per se running a church, and I do consider.
Aligned with creation manifesting.
Yeah.
The sons. Anything that
Yeah. I do consider myself part of the bigger body. Okay, so this is not judgment, because if I judge something, I'm judging myself. Okay, but I have not seen that kind of judgment in the world. I have not seen that kind of separation in the world. I have not seen that kind of outside of religion, outside especially what we are representing today, And that's there because we constantly didn't realize, never understood that the knowledge of good and evil is not meant for us, but the tree of life, which is be led by the Spirit, and you are the mature sons of God, like she's just telling me. That means being led by the Spirit. This is because Spirit will lead you. We all come from different backgrounds, different journeys, different places, different states, different countries, right? And how can the same formula work for each and every one of us? But that's what the world does. That's what the systems do. You need to do this, and get there. And that's what they think. And that's when Adam failed. And God came, became last Adam. That means no more Adamic. We still choose the old way. Whereas all you got to do is love and be led by the Spirit. Simple. Okay? So Adam had to subdue it. The word for subdue in Hebrew, it's a beautiful word. It is vechu shuha. Okay? It's the root word is kavash. Just remember it. If you don't want to remember it, it's okay. Which means to subdue or to conquer. It's one and the same. Okay, two? Nothing was perfect and it still needed subduing. All right, you guys get it? The only difference between us and Adam probably is he had better technology than we do today. And he lost the technology. We are in the process of gaining the technology. I personally feel the early church had way better than what we do. And down the ages, it got filtered down. And I feel we as a church, I'm not talking about just us, the whole church is now going back to the place where the early church was, the first 200, 300 years. From there, there's going to be an explosion. So it's okay. All right? Good. You understand? It's okay if you don't understand. Just enjoy. Huh?
It's good explosion.
Good explosion. Like the Big Bang was the biggest explosion, but it didn't bring chaos. It brought beautiful order. Look at each other. You guys are all beautiful. 1 John 5, 3-5. True love for God means obeying His commands. Okay? And His commands don't weigh us down as heavy burdens. This is what your word says. God's commands don't weigh you as heavy burdens. Apparently. But think about it. You see, every child of God overcomes the world. He overcomes what? So what's against you? Satan, bro. The world is against you. Okay? For our faith is a victorious power that triumphs over the world. So what triumphs over the world? So who are the world conquerors defeating its power? Is the question he asks, and he says, those who believe Jesus is the Son of God. That sacrifice was very necessary because that sacrifice happened. You have been taken, lifted up, co-seated, co-raised, co-buried, co-heir, co with everything. Now you're one with Him. You're supposed to that means partner with Him and work. But we're all looking for that person to come all the time and to make you do things, to help you do things. Instead, we forget that we need to We need to what? Co-conquer. Okay? What? Yeah, say I'm a conqueror. So we have this weirdly construed idea of overcoming the world looks like being blessed in every way. No? Yes or no? Come on. We think overcoming the world looks like I got everything. Good bank balance, nice family, good relationships, health, wealth, whatever. All those things are there. That means I've overcome the world. No. It's a much bigger, much better thing because it is the collective coming together and changing and upsetting the systems and rewriting what's been set as a pitfall for us. How many of you think that it's easy to make money out there? Yeah, true. I agree. It is easy to money. That is a portion. Do you know how much money the really rich in the world make per second? Is it easy to make that money? They just sit having a cup of coffee. Yeah. Having a cup of coffee or whatever that is they do, and they're making in millions. You have to go circles, dig holes, not necessarily literal holes, but go around, Dig, 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 dig. Do. To make what? $1 million to see in, I would say, couple of years is a great thing. It's considered like amazing, no? Yeah, I know there are people who make less, more than that and whatever, but that's not really making it like they do. God says, I have come to give you life, life in abundance in every area. Why they do it? Because they've set the systems. They've called it. They've decided it. One of the worst systems out there is a banking system. You know, it is based on an ancient Babylonian system. Did you know that?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Ancient Babylonians.
Ancient Babylonian system. More slaves. More of you come, take money from me, now you report to me.
And I get richer.
Now I get richer using your money. Oh, I'm going to go put one fixed deposit, bro, for 10 lakhs. The 10 lakhs will make that guy. You?
There is no 10 lakhs in the bank.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know. That's another story, but we'll not go there. But you know, but that money they'll give you a small percentage. That's the way the world is set. And what I'm trying to say is, guys, you need to overcome. To overcome, you need to overcome the systems. Not go plug yourself in and say, I am like them. But God has said you are not like them. You are more than a conqueror. And you need to conquer what? The world, the systems. Okay? Who the heck is this guy? To come and to challenge a whole nation. Not just a whole nation, he challenged nations. He challenged everybody that sat with him, sat in front of him, or listened to him, heard about him. Okay? Got filtered down, got wasted, all that is okay, but then we are getting back there. Who is this person that can do that?
And coincidentally, the first thing Jesus overturned was the bank system.
Yeah, oh, by the way, yeah, it's written in the Gospels, he went and overturned the tables, you remember? You know why? He called them den of thieves. You were stealing from who? The people who are coming to do sacrifices. They made a business out of God's house, and then he overturned the tables. As he is overturning, it's symbolic for overturning the system. Do not become a slave to the systems of the world, but overturn them. You can do that by saying no, but if you know, you can use those systems and you can better yourself. Did you get it? Say, I am a conqueror. You know, being blessed is the destination for sure. Okay? Or end product of overcoming. But it is at its core, not losing your position or your union with God is the most important thing. Not the becoming blessed part. That is a byproduct. Not losing your position. It says, fruit of the Spirit. Somebody bring that verse up and just keep it for me to read towards the end. Okay? Fruit of the Spirit. All right? Because the moment you are not in the fruit of the cross and, fruit of the Spirit. What I mean is somehow, we are choosing a different reality. We will come bang right under the system that we are supposed to overthrow, that we are supposed to conquer. No? Yeah? Do you know that Revelation says, at any given point of, to he who overcomes. To he who? How many of you love the book of Revelations? Okay? Yeah, it's okay.
What is that book? No one gets it.
I think-
Putting it out there is already a fulfilled.
Yeah, we will edit this out. I think when John was on Patmos, he found some mushrooms. Anyway, it's a good book, by the way. I love that book. It says those who are reading the book of Revelations, in the chapter, beginning chapter, it says, they'll be joyous. Anybody feel joyous when you read that book? You know, it says 50% of the population, we are 8 billion today, that means 4 billion people will be killed. You know what? Through what? First time, I think it's the fourth seal that gets opened, when 25% of the population are killed by plagues and all that stuff. Okay? And then the remaining 75%, 1/3, that means 33 point, which is another 25%, totally 50%, 4 billion people dying, and you reading it is a joyous occasion, apparently. Come on, man. You just need to know who your God is before you read who.
The book of Revelations is prophetic and already done.
You just need to know who your God is before you make any assumption about what's written.
Yeah.
Okay? Say, I'm my God is like this, my God is like that. You know what, bro? 4 billion people are gonna get smashed because they didn't choose that God. They deserve it. Is that your God, man? Seriously? Is that your God? Ask yourself. But they say, that's my God. 4 billion people. We can't handle one murder. We go outrage on social media and all those things because it bothers us so much, but we are okay. The church believes this stuff. If 4 billion people are gone. Because why? They deserve to go. They didn't make a choice. Anyway, moving on. I get carried away every time I think of that. Okay, Revelations 3:21 to 22. And it says, and to the one who conquers, I will give the privilege. Okay? And to the one who conquers, I will give the privilege of sitting with me on my throne. Remember, the Bible says we are already co-seated. Here it says, I will give them the privilege of sitting on my throne. You know, by the way, it looks like a condition put by God to enjoy the position called co-seated. No? When he says, to the one who overcomes, so overcoming is a condition it looks like. No? Yeah, just remember that. Now the cross you need to understand is condition free. Okay? But we put conditions over ourselves. Okay, moving on. Just as I conquered and sat down with my Father on his throne, the one whose heart is open, let him listen carefully to what the Spirit is saying now to the churches. That is why he overturned. That is why he called things for what they are. He told people directly, with love, with compassion. When he saw somebody weak, he stretched themselves. He stretched himself out for them till energy went out of him, till he had to escape mobs, all that stuff. But once he's strong, opposing the truth, setting people on oppression, he stood and said, you brood of vipers. I'm not trying to make revolutionaries out of everybody, but I'm trying to understand, make you see the power you carry, you possess. And you, in that process, need to overcome. Say, I'm an overcomer. You saw what I just read? Go back and check it out if you want to, okay? Now I'll move to Revelations 2:7-11. Again, the one whose heart is open, say open. Let him listen carefully to what the Spirit is saying now to all the churches. I'll give you what all these churches is again, okay? To the one who overcomes, I will give access, say access, to feast on the fruit of the tree of life that is found in the paradise of God. You know the cross is called as a tree of life? Did you know that? It's a tree of life. Paul directly refers to the cross and Jesus hanging on it as a tree, and the tree of life is him. It's there in your Bible. Okay, anyway, do you have access to it? Of course you have access to it. Okay, the one whose heart is open, say open. Let him listen carefully to what the Spirit is presently saying to all the churches. The one who conquers will not be harmed by the second death. Let's not get into death or second death for now, okay? Let's put that aside, but I want you to know everything here it says to the one who conquers. Moving on to Revelations 2:11, the one whose heart is open. We just read it, right? You know that 2:17 to the church of Pergamum they say it, 3:5 to the church of Sardis they say it, 3:12 to Philadelphia they say it, and so on. Every church he says, he calls them, he tells them, and he says to the one who conquers. Okay? If you want to know all the Bible verses, I've just said it, go back and read it later. Now people think the message to the 7 churches is a do or die end times crap. It's not. Say it's not. Listen to me carefully, okay? Each of these 7 churches is given a wonderful promise to the one who conquers or overcomes or is victorious. Okay, say I am the conqueror. I am the one who's overcoming. I am the one who's victorious because of him. Okay? The Greek verb tense, go check it out. Don't listen to me. Don't take it for my face value. The Greek verb tense in each of the 7 instances is one who continually, repeatedly, and habitually conquers. One who continually, repeatedly, habitually conquers. You're like, what? Conquering? You're saying it's very difficult for me to be happy, man. To be joyful. 24/7, you're saying you have to go conquer all the world systems. Now, that's where you can start. To be joyful. Not because you have something, you don't have something, but just be joyful because you have been called. And you have within you the one who created all things, calling you gently inward every moment, every second to be free and to feel the fruit of the Spirit every moment. It starts there, and it's a choice.
The moment we choose the fruit, we are conquering.
The moment we choose the fruit, we are conquering. Earth is going to, whatever, whatever they say, it is going to. And then there are plagues, new announcements, and this thing happening, that rule coming, this rule coming. Fruit of the Spirit. That is happening to the stocks. This is happening to the stock market. That is happening here, hospitals, bills, everything, businesses, how to set up, how to do this, how to go about fruit of the Spirit. It's a choice. It's a mindset. The more you stay in that place where you know who you are and who He is, you are conquering. That is why you need to understand it's the finished work. People say it's finished work. Now you go and start the work till you get to heaven that's your ticket. It's a finished work, bro. He did it for you. He loves you. Come. Why are you wearing that? God won't like that. Something is skewed, man. Something is messed up to another level. Okay. See, the 7 churches at 7 locations basically indicates that believers are at that stage in their growth as overcomers. That is my understanding, my opinion. Okay. If you don't like that opinion, there's nothing much I can do. Okay. But that is what my opinion is. Okay. Ephesus, the first church, means desirable. Okay. You are desirable to Him. Deeply loved by the Lord. Okay. The entry ticket into grace. First stage, Ira. Hi. Okay. Next one, Smyrna, means myrrh. Smyrna. Myrrh. Myrrh is what? It's a bitter herb, but they use it for incense and all that stuff. Meaning, the trials and the troubles we all go through.
Like watch the natural come at you.
How many of you? Watch the natural come at you. How many of you on day 1 when you believed in Jesus and accepted Jesus had the best honeymoon period ever? Come on. I had. I'm like, blue skies, green trees, and I'm like, oh, wow, what is this? Love. Sheets. This is what love feels like. And I'm like, hey, jumping joy, all that. Then I go to church. 6 months later. Dancing, club, you shouldn't. You dance only for God. No? Yeah. Not glory to God. God is like, man, be happy. And you're like, oh, okay, then sit in the church, do whatever. Nobody is happy. Failed system. Each and every one of you here has a potential to change, to be, to do, to become. That is where the word is coming out. Okay, first one is desirable, second one is myrrh. So that's what, right after the honeymoon period comes trials and tribulations, yes or no? Is God putting you through tribulations? No, you are growing now in levels where you can see the outside world for what it is. And now there is certain kind of pull within you to not to go and become one of it. And as you start doing that, trials and tribulations, they will follow you. At any given point of time, you have trials and tribulations and the worst situations ever. Say, thank God, I'm going to overcome this. And watch what will happen. And if you're going to choose to enter rest, choose the fruit of the Spirit all the time, keep watching. Okay, this is not for me a word, a phenomena, a thing that is out there. For me, this is experience. How many of you are experiencing it with us now? Yeah, that stories came out of the place. It didn't happen before. Why happened here? Why were you able to attract whatever you need? Because now you're saying, no matter what I see, man, I'm just going to be joyful. I remember many times Shireen used to come cry out, and Mercy and I rest. The evening she'll message, rest. Next morning, rest. Everything will say, rest, 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 nothing but it. Mercy would even say nothing, I'm not going to say anything, I'm not going to do anything till you rest. Please don't come near me. No? Why? That's it. The more you look at a problem, the problem becomes bigger, 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 and bigger. The more you say, okay, you're there, I'm not, it's not foolish. It's foolish to not acknowledge the problem. Acknowledge the problem, it's there. But what are you doing to me? How can you define me? Let me see how I can overcome. If it's going to take a week, it's going to take a month, it's going to take a year, it's going to take a decade. No problem. The guys in the Hall of Faith in Hebrews 11, you know how long they waited? One of the names mentioned was Noah. From the day to the ark to the build, he's 100 plus years. But he's there, waiting for some rain to happen. Hall of Faith. Today with Christ, you don't have to wait that long. And I promise you don't have to wait as long as these guys are waiting or what you think you should wait. But if you can understand, overcoming looks like fruit of the Spirit, and I'm going to enter, it'll change. Moving on. From myrrh, trials and tribulations, okay? The next church is called Pergamum, meaning elevated place. Okay? Seasons and praises and favor. Seasons and praises and favor. All of you, if you understand, you have gone through this process, okay? And the next church is called, I hope I'm pronouncing all these things properly, Thyatira, okay? Means the incense of affliction, the order, okay? Learning to praise and overcome hardships. Say, overcoming hardships. Next one is Sardis, means those who escape. This for me is the most important thing. And I know I have encouraged each and every one of you, probably taught about this in the recent weeks as well. Breaking free of our past. Okay? Breaking free of our... Can you change anything about what happened a year ago? Yesterday? Why are you worried about it? I'm not telling you you are. Can you change anything? Can you go back and rewrite it? So why is it bothering you? Why is it bothering you? I saw Gavin 3 days ago in North Goa. Okay? Am I seeing the same Gavin? I'm not. He's not same, I'm not the same. You know what the word says you are every morning? Kainos. Kainos. New creation equals to Kainos. Every morning you're Kainos, but somehow 3 years ago what happened? I'm not going to let that go. 2 years ago what someone said? He said that. 4 years ago what somebody said? No, at the age of 7 years old, my dad whacked me. You still remember? You still remember? Okay? Because it was that traumatic. I'm not saying it is not. I'm not saying you deserved it or whatever. I'm just saying it is that traumatic. The fear and trauma teaches you much more than love can teach you. Unfortunately, the system of the world says inflict fear, inflict pain, so they will remember, so they will become slaves. And that's the way it works. And that's what they learned. They will teach you that. Do not hold them accountable. Let them go. Be free of each and every person who has offended you, who did something to you in the past. And now you are overcoming not just something that is set out there, you are overcoming yourself. The toughest thing is not overcoming anything, overcoming yourself. Because if it's a worry, it's not coming from a bank. Bank is not saying, hey, I'm going to send you 20 billion joules of worry. No. It's only going to send you a message saying, account balance, debited, this much credit. And it's coming. No? Who's doing it? Take responsibility. Okay, so that's what Sardis means. Sardis means breaking free from the past. Next one, Philadelphia. I hope the church understands Philadelphia. It's not a place in the United States of America. It's a church. It was named after Philadelphia, which means brotherly love. I love you all like brothers and sisters. Okay? So, meaning learning lessons of loving another. You can't forgo that. You can't escape that. These are the churches. These are the things God at every moment is pointing and saying, to he who overcomes, or to she who overcomes. Okay? Finally, Laodicea means people's rights. Your rights. Okay? And then it says, conquer your rights. Submit yourself to the word and to the spirit. At the beginning I read, submission is easy. My burden is light. You remember what he said in, where was it? 1 John 5:3-5. True love for God means obeying his commands, and his commands don't weigh us down as heavy burdens. You know what his commands are? Two only. Love the Lord your God. Love your neighbor. Yeah. You know, it very clearly writes, love the Lord as your God in Galatians, I think it's 3 or 5, and it says, the second one is as important as the first one, love your neighbor. So that means, if I don't love Gavin, I'm not loving God. Nor am I loving myself, because Gavin and I are one. If I hate somebody, if I'm holding accountable to somebody, even though I didn't commit the crime, you hold them accountable, you are saying, I committed it. No? And how can you now be free? Okay, you got the process? You know what to do? You know that the churches listed there are things, are journeys that people grow through. I will only encourage you today, surrender your rights to him. because He's not going to take advantage of your rights. He'll only expand your boundaries. He'll only give you capacity to increase that freedom and to be there for yourself in full capacity and to be there for another in full capacity. Okay? Moving on, Galatians 5:1, NASB says, remember I read a while ago from this verse, and I also taught you from that verse, the teaching about freedom. You remember? It was for freedom Christ set us free. It's written very clearly. It was for freedom Christ set us free. It's like, because you like chicken biryani, I made you chicken biryani. Simple, right? Therefore, keep standing firm and do not be subject again to yoke of slavery. That's what the verse says. You know what it says in Passion Translation? At last we have freedom, for Christ has set us free. We must always cherish this truth and firmly refuse to go back into the bondage of our past. It's very important, okay? If you're thinking, working and want answers from your past, it's a bondage. Okay? We can't help you. I can't help you. Okay? But if you want to break free, the only way is kainos. Okay? And I said before, kainos means new creation. And the Bible says every day you're a new creation. You know what kainos is? The real meaning of kainos? Unprecedented. Unheard of. A new kind. Novel. Uncommon. These are all the Greek words for new creation. So, what is unheard of? Never existed before. Novel, uncommon. All these things are new. Do we feel free? Do we feel like that every moment? Every moment, every morning, first we wake up, the first thing that comes to you is the familiar feeling of the past. I am Vamsi Krishna Chundi. You know? Sitting on my... Anyway. Quick, no? It's a South Indian joke. Sorry. Anyway, okay, moving on. All right. So, if that's who you are, new creation, okay, how can it? Is it based in the past? No. Why then are we going back to it? Why then do you want to live the same way? Why then do we are not making the choice to be, to do, to feel new? And as you do, be, and feel, you are making sure you are conquering the very thing that is set against you, the bondage of your past. Am I clear? Is it making sense? Is it helping you? If it's not helping you, tell me, I'll just stop it. And we'll have the worship and just sit, chill and enjoy. Yeah? Shall I stop? Okay, thank you. No. Okay, all this, so far whatever we discussed got us to this place where we need to overcome the world. How do we do this? Where do we start? I've already given you clues, but you might wondering what is the best way to do it. Let's do it this way, okay? 1 Corinthians 9:26-27, the Passion Translation again. For that reason I don't run for exercise or box like one throwing aimless punches. I love TPT. But I train like a champion athlete. I subdue. There you go. I subdue my body and get it under my control, so that after preaching the good news to others, I myself won't be disqualified. You know, the word is used as discipline in some places. It is hypopiazo in Greek, meaning I am going to subdue, meaning I'm going to beat myself black and blue and retreat harshly. How many of you hate if I tell you to fast? Fantastic. Now you know why. Because your past is stored in your body.
Even your emotions are stored.
Your emotions also is stored in your body. If thoughts are the language of your brain, the language of your body are your feelings or your emotions. And these thoughts will lead to similar feelings. Familiar thoughts will lead to familiar feelings. So you're going to get up in the morning, and if you don't feel new, you're going to feel familiar. You're activating what they call, according to neuroscientists today, neural pathways that are set. So similar thoughts leads to similar feelings. Similar feelings again empower you to feel similar thoughts, which they call the thinking feeling loop. How are you going to break it down? Everything that goes within your body, except air that you breathe, sometimes even that goes through your mouth because which is not good for you. Don't do oral breathing, do nasal breathing. Okay? Oral breathing only through a little bit of breath works now and then helps you, but most of the time you're going to do, even working out, try go it nasal, prolong it rather than doing. Okay, anyway. you're subduing your body. You're overcoming old patterns. As you put yourself under conditions, put yourself under fast, put yourself under some place and saying, I'm going to do this fast, you're saying, I'm going to overcome myself. So right now, the body that got used to food at 9 a.m. doesn't have food till 3 p.m. What do you think will happen? New neural pathways. And while in that process from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., align yourself. Yeah, it'll be tough, but align yourself to the word. Go to the word. And now you're creating new neural pathways, and that's becoming real within you. And what do you think will change? What do you think will manifest? That is why God, do something new, do something new. First thing you getting up in the morning, taking the phone, Instagram. How long have you been doing it since Instagram existed, bro? God's going to do something. God is like, hello, 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 hello. No, this reel, not reel, next reel, this reel. I'm not saying, I also do that. But,
to do the new, to get the new,
do the new. Yeah. I'm going to eat the same way. I'm going to drink the same way. I'm going to smoke the same way. New things are going to happen. Sorry, your body won't let you happen, because your body remembers, your body stores, your DNA itself has enough data that some computers can't be filled. So that's the kind of a machine and a person that you are. So you have to break old patterns. To break old patterns, to make it easy, you have to sometimes do things. Subdue your body, exercising, doing something. If you're going to exercise for 10 years, you're going to do the same thing. Now you need to change. At any given point of time, we need to keep upgrading, keep moving with the Spirit. Because if you think that there is everything to know about God is already known, big mistake. Look at the size of this solar system alone, not let the galaxy or the universe to know that there are so many things out there, so much out there for us all to understand, but it's one step at a time. The church, from a physical church, need to become a mystical church, need to become a supernatural church. And for that journey, the physical body needs to go through changes. The Bible says transformation will happen, but also says transfiguration will happen. And it happens when you are willing to overcome. Yeah? Okay, is that okay? I subdue my body. I take it under control for church. It's like not drinking, smoking, committing sexual immorality is what they say. Okay? But eating kilos of biryani and liters of Pepsi is good.
Or feeling whatever you want to feel and act on it is fine.
Yeah, and feeling whatever you feel and act on it is good. Okay? I want to set you free. As I'm freeing myself. You know what free from? Free from performance. Come on, man. Come on, you got power today in your hands. If you think somebody else, something else defines you, it means you are selling your power to that. Just say, no, God's got me. I got a people. Okay, God, sometimes tough because you can't see, touch, feel. But I have people who got me. If Mercy and I don't spend till what we have to you, I wouldn't be speaking this that freely, but we will. Whatever we can, whatever we do, we will. So we will get together. We will go through it together. But we've got to understand this is the truth. Why we're doing it, not because we have a lot. Why we're doing it is so that we can overcome together. What the two of us can overcome, we can have a good life. But what's the point? Go out into the world, it's the same world. Still out there, road rage is happening. Still out there, people are out there to get your money. But how? No matter, unless I go to Leh, Ladakh, find a place, one whole mountain for myself, sit there, I'll be free. But is that what you want?
Binoy next to you.
Yeah, Binoy, another mountain far away. Now and then we'll meet and we'll worship. That's the only place you are free. So what's the point of saying, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, and go out there and like everything is out there to get you down, beat you down, and say, I have weighed you, measured you, and you've been found wanting. And there's another guy, man, who said, I weighed you, I measured you, and you've been found worthy, and raised you up, sat you up in the highest place and said, and call you son, call you daughter. If that's not going to help you, I don't know what will help you. Just know, you need to be free from performance. You can only be responsible once you are free from performance. Authenticity, being real. Okay, we're gonna close. Yeah, you guys bored? Yeah, better not say bored. Throw something at you. Okay, Romans 8:37 to 39, 2 verses. or rather not two verses, two different parts of the Bible. We're going to close with this, okay? Romans 8, 37 to 30. Romans 8 is my favorite chapter. Go and read it. When you're reading Romans 1, 2, 3, 4, you'll feel a lot of scared, fear and everything. But need to understand, when a guy is writing a letter, he'll have a start, he'll explain things, he'll have a middle, he'll have a conclusion. Read the whole thing to get the whole thing. Don't just jump. Okay, so Romans 8, 37 to 39. I believe Romans 1 to 7 concludes in Romans 8. It's beautiful. Yet, even in the midst of all these things, we triumph over them all. Whatever today are your challenges, whoever today is your challenge, you, as you're sitting here listening and aligning your heart and your mind to the word, you are triumphing over them. Say, I'm triumphing over them. For God has made us to be more than conquerors. Made us to be more than. Conquering itself is awesome. What is more than conquering? And it says, God has made you to be a more than a conqueror. Come on, man. Okay? And His demonstrated love is our glorious victory over everything. What? Demonstrated love, victory over? What is everything? Do you understand that? Do you understand that? What is your problem? Okay, so now I live with the confidence. Say, I live with the confidence that there is nothing in the universe. Say nothing. With the power to separate us from God's love. I'm convinced that His love will triumph over death. Oh my God, what? Interesting, no? His love will triumph over death, life's troubles. How many of you have troubles? Every time we'll say, when you say, how many of you troubles? That's how loudly and fiercely they speak over the reality that is Christ, that is God. No? Okay? Life's troubles, death, fallen angels. Wow, even amazing. Or dark rulers in the heavens. Dark rulers where? Very interesting. I thought they're below. Anyway, moving on. There is nothing in our present or future circumstances. He's not even mentioning the past. It's you unnecessarily go there. We unnecessarily go there. There is nothing in our present or future circumstances that can weaken His love. No way, man. No way. Okay? There is no power above us or beneath us. No power that could ever be found in the universe that can distance us from God's passionate love, which is lavished upon us through our Lord Jesus, the Anointed One. Which was? Lavished. Crazy. Am I the only one feeling this? Okay, Una's feeling it. John 16, 33. Okay? And everything I've taught you, this is Jesus' words. Everything I've taught you is so that the peace which is in me will be in you and will give you great confidence as you rest in me. What we all need today is confidence. How are we going to get it? Rest in Him. Okay? For in this unbelieving world, in this, the problem is not because they are outsiders or people there are outsiders and they're working against you, we are like this. They just don't understand. They just don't believe. But somebody has to rise up, stand up and say, you're okay, man, as you are, but this is what I can do and this is what love looks like. And does it work? Maybe 50% of the time, but 50% matters. 1% matters, one step matters. Everything that you can do matters. Don't have to look at the world at large and say, what the heck, no way. 1% is enough. Okay? So that's what he says. In this unbelieving world, you will experience troubles and sorrows. Yes? So many? But you must be courageous, for I have conquered the world. So there is a guy who says, I have conquered the world. Okay? And he says, my love will triumph over everything. So all you got to do is elevate your bodies and your minds to this love. The cross, man. Run to it. Run to it. Like the way you're running, you almost overshot the door and ran, because it was late. That's how we need to run to the cross. But I constantly run to it. The small issue, big issue, doesn't matter. I go there and I stay. Sometimes I hang on to it and say, I don't know. This is all I know. I'm staying here and I'll do the best I can. Whether it is worship, whether it is cooking, whether it is teaching, whether it is taking care of Una or loving my wife or my son to the best I can and doing something for any of them, I'll do it. It's okay what I have, what I don't have doesn't really matter. but watch what God will do if that's your stance. I am conquering the world with each and every one of you by doing that. You know what you need to do, your mind and your body? Love them into submission. How are you going to love them if you're going to treat them the same way every day? Loving them looks like laying yourself down. So you need to lay them down. Submit. Hold the higher thought. I take the higher thought. I am called more than a conqueror. When troubles are coming to you, when situations are feeling like, oh my God, I need to go back and do this, or I need to go there and get this done, I'd say no. Okay, I know I need to get this done. I know it's tough, but God, man, I think I have you. I think I have you is also okay. I think I have you, but let me just experience the, what is that? Fruit of the Spirit. Somebody can give me fruit of the Spirit, which Galatians where? 5, right?
5.
Yeah, 5, which is the verse?
22.
That's the one. Okay. I'm just going to read. Is that okay, guys? I'm sorry I said I'm closing with something else, but we'll close with this. Yeah, I apologize. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. But the fruit produced by the Holy Spirit within you is divine love in all its varied expressions. Divine love. Love looks like this. You saying love and one of these is missing, it's not love. Sorry. Okay? Divine love in all its varied expressions. Say with me. Joy that overflows. Peace that subdues. Patience that endures. Kindness in action. A life full of virtue. Faith that prevails. Gentleness of heart. And strength of the Spirit. Never set the law above these qualities, for they are meant to be limitless. For they are meant to be? Limitless. A conqueror is limitless. How is he going to conquer? You just read it. It's not like taking a sword out there and fighting with demons and dark rulers. They are already subdued. Put under your feet. Know that. And subdue, man, your thoughts and your feelings. And align yourself to a place where God is enthroned. The Spirit is within you. And those who are led by the Spirit, Romans 8, are the sons. The word for sons is huios there, and daughters. Huios means, and in the beginning in John, the word, they believed in grace and truth came through Jesus, and those who believed is called children. The Greek word is technox. Romans 8, huios, different word. That's a technoc, the little cute thing over there. This is a huios, because I'm the oldest here, I think. Okay? This is the huios, mature man. Okay? You get it? There's a process. And that's the process we go through every week as we sit together. That's the process we go through every time we worship together. All these need to happen so that this can happen. A maturing can happen. A growing can happen. A transformation can happen, which can lead to transfiguration. And as we go together as a body, we become more and more and more like Him. Christ-like. And we are conquering everything in that process. Peace.
Awesome, Dad.